We asked AI who should win this year's WWE Money in the Bank briefcase. Let's talk about it. So WWE Money in the Bank, Dylan, it's the next big PLE. It's one that helps elevate a lot of wrestlers and it creates a lot of excitement throughout the year and until somebody cashes in that briefcase, because we're always talking, when are they going to cash in? Are they going to do it tonight? Are they going to do it at this show, that show? So it's a big PLE and it is a big moment in the year for wrestling as a whole because someone's going to pull off a steal and it could change their careers forever. So continuing down this AI journey, which we do a ton of AI videos. If you like this, you can go check out a bunch of our other stuff. I asked AI to give me 5 wrestlers who should win Money in the Bank, why they should win it, and when they should cash in. So how do you feel about AI's ability to create a solid list?
We'll see. They did better than expected with the top 10 wrestlers of all time, right? Even though they had a few misses in our
Sure.
scenario, we think based on AI's capabilities, I was pleasantly surprised with the list. Um, but then there's also been times where AI has not delivered.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
one way
has
to
made
put it.
you realize that there's a long time before AI can fully take over, as far as the creative arts are concerned.
That's,
Um,
that's right.
so I am cautiously optimistic at the 5
Okay.
options that AI is going to provide us here, but also I am definitely I don't have as much hope for this list as I maybe do for some others. I don't feel
Oh,
as good about this one for some reason.
okay.
But we'll see.
All right. So, and this is in no particular order. Um, so I guess we'll start off with our first person here, and that is going to be Jacob Fatu. Why should he win it? As a newer dominant force potentially linked to the Bloodline saga, Jacob Fatu brings an unpredictable and dangerous element. A Money in the Bank win for Fatu would immediately establish him as a monster heel and a serious threat to any champion. His raw ability and natural connection with fans, even as a heel, make him a valuable asset. His victory would inject fresh blood into the main event scene and could tie into larger faction warfare storylines. And so we'll go into when he should cash in. Fatu's cash in should be brutal and opportunistic, showcasing his savage in ring style. He could cash in on a vulnerable champion after they've just survived a stipulation match, i.e., Hell in a Cell, Last Man Standing, at a PLE like Crown Jewel or Survivor Series of this year. This would emphasize his predatory nature and instantly make him a feared champion. Given his potential bloodline connections, his cash in could also be orchestrated with outside interference, furthering that storyline. Dylan, how do we feel about Jacob Fatu winning and when he should cash in?
Obviously, you're not going to get much argument from me if this was to happen. How likely do I think it's to happen? I don't think it's very likely, especially
Okay.
specifically this year. I think in the future, I think the sky is the limit for Jacob Fatu. I think this year it's pretty unlikely. Um,
Do you think he should win?
as much of a Jacob Fatu guy as I am,
Oh, no.
I don't think he should this year. I just don't think he needs
Okay.
it. I
Agreed.
like I'm very much on. I just try to think about the bigger picture, and I think putting people. With that being said, he shouldn't be in the match. Like if he's in the match, he should win because he can't
Yeah.
take losses, in my opinion. Like,
Jacob, 2 belts.
but I don't think he needs it. I actually think it's not even too. I don't even think it would serve too much of a purpose for his character. Is mainly where I'm coming from. I think he's so good. I think he's so over, such a dominant force. I don't think I view him similar to Gunther. Like, I don't know, not that he's
Okay.
in a way. I think giving him the money in the bank would almost like under it would like undersell the importance of him winning a world championship for the first time.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
Gunther winning the world title for the first time wouldn't if it was a money in the bank cash in, like it would not have been
Yeah.
nearly as cool as it or anybody winning the title for the first time. And that's actually, let me take that back because there's certain people that it really does work for. But in this instance, I just don't think it serves too much of a purpose for the Jacob Fatu character. With that being said, if they were to pull the trigger and do it, I'm 100% on board for it, and I would love it.
All right, so let's move on to our next one here. We have Sami Zayn. Why he should win? Sami Zayn's incredible journey as an underdog babyface has deeply resonated with fans. While he's achieved significant success, a world championship has eluded him. Winning Money in the Bank could be the catalyst for a feel-good, emotional storyline culminating in a well-deserved title reign. There also have been teases of a potential heel turn for Zayn in 2025. The briefcase could be a corrupting influence leading to a desperate and opportunistic cash-in, adding a fresh layer to his character. When should he cash in? If Zayn remains a babyface, a cash-in at a moment of high emotion, perhaps to save a show from a dastardly heel champion, would be incredibly effective. Maybe at a major Raw or SmackDown special. If he were to turn heel, he could bide his time waiting for a vulnerable champion, potentially even a former friend like Jey Uso, and cash in when it would cause the most heartbreak and impact, perhaps around WrestleMania 2026 season, to insert himself into a major championship match. Dylan, should Sami Zayn win Money in the Bank?
No arguments for me, Mark. I think Sami Zayn has a great case on why he should win Money in the Bank. I think Sami Zayn, I think this is a great kind of opposite side of the spectrum, right? Of the Jacob Fatu. I think Sami Zayn, finally winning his first world championship via Money in the Bank cash in would serve a lot more purpose for that character, right?
Yeah.
For Sami Zayn, being he just had to fight and claw so hard to finally get to that opportunity to hold a world championship. And I think Money in the Bank is a perfect way to really kind of further tell that story. I'll say this: the heel idea is bad. That's a terrible idea. I'm fully on the train, and this is full like not that he's incapable, because I think Sami Zayn is truly one of the most brilliant wrestlers on the entire planet. I don't think Sami Zayn should ever turn heel. I think Sami Zayn at this point, in my opinion, is a lifer babyface. He's too damn lovable. Like to me, like
Yeah.
he's like you want to root for him so bad, and on top of it, if he's winning a world championship for the first time,
Get a lot of cheers.
you're not you're like he's not going to be a heel. Like you just know that for a
Yeah.
fact. Like they're not going to waste that moment on him being a heel. Like it would just
Yeah.
it would just ruin. Everyone would cheer for him. It wouldn't ruin the moment, but it would just be dumb on creative's part. Like, but with that being said, like I think there's times where last year I don't know if it made quite a ton of sense for Sami Zayn to win Money in the Bank. Like there's times where it could have made sense, and I feel like Sami Zayn is definitely like a name that's always in the mix, especially over these last few years, right? But now, to me, feels like a really good time to potentially pull that trigger because
Sure.
I think it's not that his connection with the crowd has died down at all, because he is over as ever, and all right, I'll step back a little bit because let me just step back a little bit, and it's not a dig on Sami Zayn, just because I'm taking a step back a little bit because when he went up against Roman, that might have been like arguably, potentially like some of the most. That's like top 5 potentially most over I've seen a
Yeah,
wrestler. Like,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
So like,
I gotta rewatch that match
yeah,
again.
but with that being said, I think Sami Zayn is just at like a limit. Like, he's just so over permanently. Like, he just is.
I fully agree.
You
I'm
under
not sure what he could do to make me boo him.
For sure. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I ever would. I
Yeah.
don't think I could. It's like, yeah, and it's just like a heel Sammy would just, at this point in his career, would feel like it's just coming from such a weird place.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
you
mean?
don't need to turn him heel.
No,
Like,
and I
for
don't think
what?
they're going to. Like, I think this is a
I don't
very
think they will either.
hypothetical conversation. But yeah, to circle it all back, I think it might be the perfect time to pull the trigger on Sami Zayn, right? Because he's still so incredibly over, and he's always going to be now. But the hype has died down a little bit from where it was to when he's like in the middle of the bloodline feud a couple years ago, going up for the title
Yeah.
against Roman, right? So I think it would be a little bit more unexpected than if it were to happen a couple years ago, right? Like, I think it would have been feel good, but now it's like some time has gone by. Now you're like, oh, I don't know, some more time has gone by. Maybe that was his best chance to have a world title run. You know what I mean? And then boom, he wins Money in the Bank. Like, so I think that would be a great, great call. And I think this year would absolutely be a great year to pull the trigger and do it. So AI, not bad on that one.
And I think they could do an interesting thing, kind of similar to what they said, but him holding Money in the Bank briefcase, I think they could kind of play it off as him being like, "This is my last shot to be a world champion in WWE,"
Yeah.
and kind of have it like play a more of a mental aspect without him turning fully heel.
Yeah,
So
I like that. I think really like get nuanced with it and just like really blur the lines of like what you think Sammy might be willing to do to get that title, but then when it's all said and done, he does it the right way. Like, I think
yeah.
that would be really a great idea.
So before we move on to these next 3, just want to let you guys know, if you want to watch these videos early and if you want them ad-free, you can sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/The Burning Hammer. You can join the World Champion tier for only $1 a month. You get all of
$1 a
our
month.
stuff. You get our stuff early and you get it ad-free, and you can listen to the Burning Hammer podcast where me and Dylan talk about everything that's currently going on in WWE. We drop that every single Monday. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast, or you can watch it here on YouTube if you like to watch your podcast, and that also goes up on the Patreon as well. So
Yeah,
again,
so
literally $1 a month, $12 for the year, all of our
do you
stuff
know how
early
many
and ad-free.
how many Patreon members are we at right now, Mark?
We got a handful.
Do we?
Yeah.
How many?
1.
Okay, nice. Love to see it. So I'm thinking this at 10. Once we hit 10, once we hit 10 Patreon subscribers, we are going to do like we're gonna do a little spin the wheel on the podcast, and a name will get picked, and then that person will get we'll do an episode of the podcast or a YouTube video about whatever that person wants. They get to pick it.
Okay.
They get to pick the topic. Whole custom video up for them, and they could join us for that video if they'd like, but they don't have to. If they'd like us just to do it for them, we can, but they're welcome to join us to shoot the shit on their favorite wrestling topic. So just to throw that out there, a little incentive to get on there on the
Gotta
Patreon.
love an
Like
incentive.
we said, $1 a month.
Patreon.com/The Burning Hammer,
Yeah,
$1 a month to become a world champion.
Not too bad, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's nothing, man. $12 a year. All that stuff will be linked in the description as well. So let's get on to these top 3 wrestlers, Dylan. This next guy, who I would make a strong case for should win Money in the Bank, and that's Carmelo Hayes. Why should he win? Him is what Carmelo Hayes claims to be, and a Money in the Bank victory would be the perfect way to prove it on the main roster. Hayes has the in-ring talent, confidence, and swagger of a future champion. Winning the briefcase would fast-track his ascent and provide him with the storyline ammunition to back up his bold claims. Some predictions have even suggested he would cash in on Cody Rhodes, indicating his potential for a high-profile feud. And when he should cash in, Hayes, with his mellow is money persona, would likely be strategic yet flashy with his cash in. He could wait for a champion to be at their most vulnerable, perhaps after a grueling title defense on a SmackDown or Raw episode when they least expect it, making a statement that he strikes when the opportunity is perfect. Alternatively, cashing in during high stakes match at a B level PLE like Backlash or Extreme Rules in late 2025, early 2026 could elevate that event and give him a shocking championship victory. Dylan, should Carmelo Hayes, win Money in the Bank this year?
I think there's a lot of merit to this one, right? And I think you said it before. He would be your pick to win. No arguments from me. I think it's hard to say that like Carmelo should and Sami shouldn't, or Sami should and Carmelo shouldn't. I'm just gonna. There might be multiple people that should win, but Carmelo is one of the people that should. I'm just saying that for the record. Carmelo Hayes has been doing wonderful stuff ever since he's been on the main roster. I think TV time.
10th wonder of the world.
Yeah, I think I think TV time is something that a lot of fans don't put enough stock in. And I think people get upset when they see certain people on TV every week, and maybe they're not wrestling as much as they'd like them to. And but I just say that to say, and we've said this at all. Someone being on TV on a weekly basis is a really strong thing. Like that holds a lot of merit, and they're especially when the roster is as loaded as it is nowadays. I think that's the biggest part of it, right? The roster is so loaded that I mean, not everybody can just be in huge spotlight situations, right? So it's getting some TV time and maximizing your minutes the way Carmelo Hayes has done, the way, let's say, Chelsea Green, I think, might be one of the best examples. The Miz might be one of the best examples ever. Like,
yeah.
So, and I say that to be like, he obviously won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but before that, not a ton of huge wins on the main roster for Carmelo Hayes, right? I don't think stuff like that. I think stuff like that people put a little bit too much thought into, if that makes sense.
Sure.
The fact that he's being utilized every week on a weekly basis means that,
and having matches every week too, not even just TV appearances, matches every single week.
It means that WWE wants the crowd to be incredibly familiar with Carmelo Hayes. So the moment they do push him more and put him in a big spot, the people aren't unfamiliar with Carmelo Hayes. They're excited for it. And I'm not saying that he's not at that spot yet. I'm just saying it's just timing, and there's only so many spots, really, is what it comes down to. And with that all being said, yeah, great choice for Money in the Bank.
He would be my one person. If you told me I could pick anyone to win Money in the Bank, I would pick Carmelo Hayes.
I think I'd pick Sami, truly.
Okay.
I just have a soft spot for Sami. Like, Sami's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
He'll go down easily as a top 5 wrestler of all time for me, I think, when it's all said and done. Potentially top 3.
Okay.
So
we'll have to maybe we'll do an updated top 5 favorite wrestlers list in the near future, because we've got some shiftings in there. So
yeah, man, I love Sami.
A lot of people I think also love Sami as well. So let's move on to these last 2 people, Dylan. You've got LA Knight. Yeah. Why should he win? LA Knight's organic rise in popularity is undeniable. His charisma, mic skills, and connection with the crowd are assets that WWE could capitalize on with a Money in the Bank victory. While he's had tastes of the main event scene, the briefcase would be the definitive step to elevate him to a consistent championship contender. It would be a massively popular decision with the fan base. And then AI even put in parentheses, yeah. Um,
Nice.
when should he cash in? LA Knight is a master of mind games and picking his moments. He could hold onto the briefcase for several months, teasing cash-ins on various champions, both world heavyweight and WWE championships, to build anticipation. A dramatic cash-in at a major event like Survivor Series 2025 or even the Royal Rumble 2026 on a weakened champion after a brutal match or elimination chamber match would create a massive pop and memorable championship win. You might choose a moment when a heel champion believes they've finally overcome all challengers. Dylan, should LA Knight, win Money in the Bank this year?
Yeah, I hate to give you three straight shoulds, but I think he's another great person that should win. Should, could, and maybe will. I think LA Knight is great choice. Obviously, we only have one person confirmed for the match thus far.
At time of recording.
Yes, and that is Solo Sikoa. So we know two people that won't be in the match are Ray Phoenix and who else was in that match?
Big Jim.
Jimmy, yeah. So Solo is the first competitor, but I don't think Solo will win. This is just getting in there, but LA Knight, I think, is a really, really, really strong choice. I might put him as the favorite.
I think he may be the betting odds favorite.
Yeah, I would say potentially, especially after dropping that title to Jacob, right? I think because it's like, what's next for him after that?
Main event?
Yeah, and it's like, where else
should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, probably. And I think it's really just a testament to how great LA Knight is that he's been able to be in the mid card and be in these scenarios, and he's maintained over with the crowd and maintained his popularity and his ability to get over even when it looks like he maybe things are starting to die down. He finds a way to get it right back up again. So he's done a really, really great job at that over the years, especially these last couple. And I think it's probably better time than ever. And the big thing with LA Knight, probably, if not now, then I don't know when. So it might be the time to do it.
Yeah, I think that they're going to push him to the main event scene. So I think if he doesn't do it now, then he's probably never going to win it, because I don't think he'll need to win it again.
No. I kind of mean,
sense.
I'm kind of just saying, like, in a world title in general. If it's not happening soon, when is it happening? You know what I mean?
Okay. I feel you.
So, because not too many people, win their first world title well into their 40s, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's exceptions for that, and LA Knight could be the exception for that down the road. But let's not make him one of those. Let's get him one before then. Let's get him one in his early 40s. So.
I fully agree. And let's move on to someone who is on the opposite side of the age spectrum, Dylan, and that's Bron Breakker, our final person who AI thinks should win Money in the Bank. And why should he win? Bron Breakker has been presented as a dominant force since his arrival on the main roster. His intensity, power, and pedigree, son of Rick Steiner, make him a believable future world champion. A Money in the Bank win would solidify his main event trajectory and instantly establish him as a top-tier threat to any champion. He's been consistently featured and is seen as someone with immense potential for WWE's future. When should he cash in? Breakker's cash-in should be swift and impactful, establishing his no-nonsense character. A prime opportunity would be at SummerSlam 2025. Imagine a grueling world heavyweight championship match where the champion, potentially Jey Uso or another established star, is left vulnerable. Breakker could storm the ring, cash in, and decimate the exhausted champion, mirroring Brock Lesnar's early dominant cash-ins. This would make an immediate statement and kickstart a dominant reign. Another scenario could see him target the WWE champion, currently held by John Cena, perhaps waiting for Cena to overcome a major challenge before striking. Dylan, should Bron Breakker win Money in the Bank this year?
I don't know where the dogs are at on this one, right? So I might get some. And trust me, I'm a dog myself. But I'm gonna go no.
Wow.
I don't think he should win.
A lot of dogs barking in the comments.
Similar to Jacob Fatu, I just don't think he needs it. I think it's a compliment, kind of. I just don't think he needs it. I think put him right into the main event scene. I think Bron Breakker's going to be such a major player in this company moving forward that I think, and especially being the powerhouse he is, right? I think getting like a clean, decisive victory for his first world title win will mean a lot. Not that it can't happen with the Money in the Bank. And who knows now that he's, kind of being mentored by Seth. Maybe it would be kind of cool to have them both win their first world title through Money in the Bank cash-ins. But yeah, I love Bron Breakker. I think he's amazing. I'm already on board for everything to lead to Seth versus Bron for the world title at WrestleMania next year. Mm-hmm. I just don't think Bron Breakker needs to win Money in the Bank for any of that to happen. And I think he's very capable of very big things in the very near future without the Money in the Bank briefcase.
So I'm going to slightly disagree with you here. I think he would be I think he's a good case to someone who should win it because, I mean, everything you said is true. I don't know if he necessarily needs to win it, but I think putting that briefcase on him kind of gives him that stamp of approval to help like kickstart his career in the main event scene. Although he just had a match with Jey Uso. By the time you guys are watching this, that match has already happened, but for us, it's happening tonight. So he's already kind of dipping his toe in the main event scene. So that just kind of puts more truth into what you're saying to that he may necessarily doesn't need it. But I think like putting the briefcase on him, think about, and let me tell you this, WWE's a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about a little bit of a Bron Breakker themed Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. And then obviously
like a beware of dog sign or something.
I was thinking more of like the stuff he wears on his ring attire.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I knew that was what you were more thinking, but then my mind went, what if it was just said it was like a beware of dog sign, and he just was carrying it
taken out of the briefcase?
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, I think it would help him a lot. I don't think he necessarily needs to win, but I think him winning would be super beneficial for him.
Yeah, I can get that.
Although I think people like LA Knight, like Carmelo Hayes, like Sami, I think they have a better case of people who should win it ahead of him. But I think that he's a good case of someone who also should win it.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
So overall, what did you think about this list? I thought this was a great list.
Yeah, I actually really agree. I thought it was one of AI's better lists, if not their best list, probably. So guess I apologize for my doubts, but I don't apologize. I won't apologize
for nothing.
So yeah, but solid list nonetheless, and I was very, very pleased with it.
So you guys drop a comment and let us know who you think should win Money in the Bank this year. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because that way you will never miss an upload. And our next upload is going to be AI's ranking of the top 5 WWE Money in the Bank winners. That will be out on Friday. So if you want to watch that, make sure to smash the subscribe button. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'm Mark Izzo. He's Dylan O'Brien, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace out.